everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kitty Mary and I recently discovered that I don't have a ultimate dental care, hygiene, toothbrush, mouth health video. I've talked about it sporadically here and there. I also have videos about toothpaste and bathroom essentials, but I thought it would be pretty practical to have a video where I sort of gather all the information so you can find it super easily. So that's sort of what we're going to do today. I am going to share everything that you need to know about sustainable zero waste dental hygiene. So let's just get going. First of all, we have the bamboo toothbrush. This has become quite a staple in the zero waste bathroom essentials routine aesthetic. I see them basically everywhere, and at this point they're also rather widespread, so I have also seen them in stores that are not exclusively devoted to sustainability. So they're quite easy to get your hands on at this point, which is rather neat. There are so many different ones and I totally get why that can be rather intimidating, also in terms of wanting to find the most sustainable one. There are also gray areas when it comes to bamboo in general. I've actually made an impact video about bamboo to sort of highlight some of the gray areas and some of the things that we might need to know as consumers about bamboo material. But I want to go over a couple of different bamboo toothbrushes that you might find interesting. Of course, there are many other kinds than the ones I just mentioned. These are the ones that I've gotten my hands on. So I can only, speak from personal experience. One of them are used. This is the toothbrush that I'm using right now, and obviously I use them until they cannot be used anymore, but we're going to get into what we do when we cannot use the toothbrush anymore. Some of the things that you might be able to see at first glance is that some companies, not every company, offer different kinds of bristle hardness. So some of them are really soft and some of them are harder, and I know a couple of companies that have different ranges, but not all of them do. So let's go over what I have here. So the one I have right now, you can see sort of my toothpaste leftovers on it right there. Yay! This is from Humble. I really like this. I think this is great. I like kind of, like a medium to hard bristle moment, so that's sort of what I have here. They also have different types of colors, and that can be really great if you share bathroom with other people. This is a really neat way of being able to see, okay, that's my toothbrush. Humble is also a pretty good company that also does a lot of charity work, and they also donate toothbrushes to people that don't have access to dental care, so that's pretty neat. Then there is Brush with Bamboo. I think this was one of the first toothbrushes that I tried in bamboo once I went zero waste. That's like 6 years ago at this point. The hardness is very medium. It's not super duper tough, but it's also not soft. And I think this is great. Their bristles are also 100% bio-based. That's not always the case. Most of the time, even though a bamboo toothbrush is advertised as plastic-free, it might still contain plastic in the bristles, and they're usually made out of nylon. And the bamboo is also FSC certified. There are gray areas as well when it comes to wood certifications, even though bamboo is actually technically a type of grass. But as I'm also going into in the impact video about bamboo, bamboo regulation is seriously lacking. So anything that has to do with a third-party certification when it comes to bamboo, I think is a really good step. Now let's see what else we have. Then I have this one from Wove. It doesn't have any certifications, and I think the bristles, I would categorize them as hard. Then I have Net Zero Company. These bristles are very soft. Just an FYI, they're very soft, maybe even a little too soft for my taste. And I know that some people actually do prefer that. I definitely prefer the other way around, but just letting you know that there are definitely differences in the toughness and in the feel of the bristles, and both the Net Zero Company one and the Organic Basics one, really soft. To show this next one, I only have the children's version, so what you gonna do? It is so small. This is from Dentabs, and they also make tooth taps that we will get into in a bit. And this one is also really soft, but I think that's because it's the children's one. And I definitely do recall that they have different kinds of toughness in the bristles. Okay. And lastly, I also have a Swak. Swak? I know it has another name as well, and I cannot recall what it is, but this is a natural kind of toothbrush. And the brush part, I'm just gonna zoom in for you a little bit, 1 second. The brush part here is made from a natural root, and the more you use it, obviously it's going to go a little bit softer, but this is very hard. Personally, I definitely do prefer the more conventional toothbrushes over the natural alternative, but it's nice to try out a couple different things to see what works for you. This homegirl has been done for quite some time and I use her in my art supplies. This is, by the way, also from Dentabs, and yeah, the adult version is significantly more tough. I use this in my art supplies to sort of splatter paint, which I think is pretty cool. And Jens also uses them when he is painting. He's painting small minifigures, and for that you can sort of make small textures. So we use them both continuously in our hobbies. There are other things that you can do with them. Generally, I've seen people that use the stick part to write names of herbs, and then they use them in their gardens, inside in plants, to sort of advertise what kind of plant it is, how much water it needs, all that kind of stuff. If you want to compost the bamboo part, you will have to take out the bristles the majority of the time. And you can do that simply by taking a tool and then pulling them out. They might be a little tough to get out, but you know, stubbornness will get you really far. The bristles will generally need to be thrown away with general waste. What I like to do when I have to throw away the bristles is that I wrap them in something else that's also being thrown away. So once they get to the bin or once they're collected somewhere, they won't just fly everywhere, because like, that's not what we want. So wrapping them sort of tightly in something else, I think is a really good option. Toothbrush. Now let's get into toothpaste, or more specifically, tooth taps. That's the kind of zero waste toothpaste alternative that I have been using for the longest time, and I have a couple of videos where I sort of explain different types of toothpaste and how I landed on the tooth tap one, and how I don't really like a lot of other options, including the awful zero waste DIY homemade toothpaste with coconut oil and baking soda. I hate it. So a couple of different options when it comes to tooth taps. You can sometimes, if you have access to a bulk store, you will be able to find them in bulk. This is from the bulk store in Aalborg, and generally many bulk stores seem to be carrying this sort of stuff. So I've been able to find them pretty easily, which I love. And then I don't carry them around in this huge container. When I get home, I transfer them to a slightly smaller container. And if I'm going traveling, I'm transferring them into an even smaller container, so I know exactly how many I'll need. But there are other ways of getting them as well if you don't have access to a bulk store. I got my first batch from this eco store called Eco Living. It is a UK based store, and they sent them in this tiny container that you could also get refilled. So the next time that you buy them, they will come in a little paper bag and you can transfer them into this one yourself. Most of the tooth taps, if they're just advertised as Dentabs tooth taps, they come from a big bulk packaging, and then they are transferred into other types of packaging depending on how the store is managing them. So there are a couple of different options, but there are also other companies that carry tooth taps. One of them is Hydrofill. I especially used these ones at a point where I didn't have access to the other ones, and these are flavored with sage. It's also important to note that you can both get tooth taps with or without fluoride. I have with fluoride. The way that the tooth taps, dental taps, work is that you put one in your mouth and you sort of chew it like a mint. You don't swallow it, but you sort of chew it like a mint, make sure that it's like nice and combined, and you can use your saliva to sort of transfer it around your mouth. Then I take some water on my toothbrush, and then I start to scrub my teeth. And the water from the toothbrush will also help you to distribute the dental tap, tooth tap small bits everywhere. And then it's going to sort of slightly foam up, and you can use it like a normal toothpaste. And then there's another thing. I think I want to mention it because I've heard good things, and I know some people like it. I just go to preface this by saying I personally don't like it very much, but I know other people do, so I'm gonna mention it. This is a tooth cream from Dew Organics. It's infused with charcoal, and you can get it infused with other types of things. These are non-fluoride, and they're kind of like a paste. You scoop up a little bit with a spoon, and then you apply it to your toothbrush, and then you brush your teeth. But there's more! You can make your own zero waste minty mouthwash, and that can be really beneficial. And if you have the time to, or the ingredients nearby, I definitely suggest that you make your own. But you can of course also find products that are more sustainable than the conventional types of mouthwash. One product that I've found that I think is really cool is the Dew Organics mouthwash taps. These taps are really, really neat. You put one into a glass of water, you let it dissolve, and then you like swirl it around in your mouth, and then you spit it out completely like normal mouthwash. But they come in a glass container, and they are completely solid. Again, super easy to travel with. You don't have to go around with a huge jug of mouthwash, but simply just bringing a couple of these is really neat. And they work so well. They're really, really minty. Oh yeah. And floss. I have two different kinds of plastic-free, zero waste floss, and they work kind of in the same way. You can get refill products and you can get these small glass containers for them. I think this is super, super neat. The glass is also not fragile at all. I've dropped these a million times if nothing has ever happened. This is from World of Bamboo and this is from Maystix. Maystix is a Danish brand and they're both really nice. They're compostable dental flosses that you can use and then compost, and I think that's a really good option. I don't think there is a reusable floss option per se, but you can also get this type of water flossing where you just use a little device that sprays water and that will also clean out your teeth. So that's another option as well. And I know some people use thread, but I just cannot. I think I tried just using normal thread like 5 years ago, and I remember distinctively that my mouth looked like a slasher movie. And a tongue cleaner. You can get tongue cleaners made out of cardboard. They are disposable. You can also use the back of your toothbrush if it has those, you know, small dents, but as you can see, no bamboo toothbrush has that. So I have a reusable alternative. This is a metal tongue scraper that I clean routinely, and then you sort of like and then you clean your tongue like that. I think this is perfectly nice, and I've never had any issues with it. This is from Wove as well. Of course, I will leave links to every product I've shown down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it and I hope to see you again soon. Please leave a comment down below and tell me what your sustainable dental routine looks like. And if you want to see more of this face, subscribe to my channel. That would really make my day. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day and I hope you will take good care of yourselves. Until next time. Bye! Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green, zero waste content and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!